So one of the most common things that people struggle with on a ketogenic diet is what to eat when they're on the road or just when they're going from point A to point B, short distances, not long-term travel, but just, going across town or going through LA or going through the big city where you're going to be on the road for maybe 2 or 3 hours. Like, what are some things that you can have on hand to make sure that you're doing ketosis right, without having to just swing through in and out and grabbing a double-double without the bun, okay? Something so you can truly get some nutrition. So I've got some stuff in my bag, and I'm gonna show you. These are things that I either keep in my bag or I keep in the glove box of my car. So let's go for a little ride, and I'll show you what I got. So when it comes down to it, the issue isn't really when you're traveling with what your overall food consumption looks like. A lot of times it's what kind of fats you're getting in the equation, what you're actually bringing into your body, because a lot of times it's not so much that you're getting the wrong sources of protein, it's more so the wrong sources of fat. So one of the things we have to remember when you're on a ketogenic diet in general is you gotta remember fats are fuel. So we always get hung up in getting our protein in. We travel and we'll be like, okay, I need to go through the drive-thru and I need to get some chicken, or I need to get a burger of some kind. I mean, that's all fine and dandy, but what we really need to focus on is the fats. So what I've got with me, I've got them in my bag, I'm gonna pull over up here in a second, I'll show you, are various forms of fat and some proteins that I find are really easy to keep with you and keep in your glove box or anything like that all the time. Because what I find is that way I can go to a restaurant, I can eat super, super clean and just get maybe a piece of chicken or something like that, and then I know that I have my fat sources with me. I find that this is a really, really foolproof way to be able to make sure you're still getting the right kind of fats in. So when I get up here, I'll show you what I've got in my bag here. And for those of you that didn't know, so I posted something on Instagram about this car that I've got here. So I had a 71 Nova before. It was a car that my dad and I had built before he passed away. And I had been looking for years for another Nova that I could kind of carry on the story with him, and something that I could work with my baby on when he starts to grow up and as he starts to become a young man, and give him something that he can actually focus on and tinker with and be a gearhead like his dad was. A good, healthy option to do something with. Okay, so let's go ahead. Let me show you what I got. Okay, so first things first, I always have macadamia nuts with me. So the reason I have macadamia nuts with me, first of all, the obvious thing. We all know macadamia nuts are super, super low carb, okay? The lowest carb nut. Okay, yada, yada, that's fine, that's old news. What's awesome about these from an enzymatic function is they're super high in what's called palmitoleic acid. This is known as omega-7. So omega-7 is really unique. Palmitoleic acid does something in the body where it actually supports different enzymatic and immune functions. So what that means is because it's supporting enzymatic functions, it's also supporting the emulsification of other fats. So it's allowing you to utilize fats in a better way. So omega-7s have also been proven to help the body use more in the way of omega-3s. So if you're trying to get those omega-3s in, then you're better off to consume them alongside some omega-7s, because those omega-7s are going to help the body assimilate and utilize those more. So really, really powerful there. And the other thing that we have to look at is a really interesting thing. So the Cleveland Clinic actually published a study. Cleveland Clinic published a study that palmitoleic acid, the omega-7, ended up showing a 56% reduction in C-reactive protein levels for those that took omega-7, so those that were consuming foods that were high in omega-7. In case you didn't know, C-reactive protein is your main marker for inflammation within the body. So if you're talking about the ketogenic lifestyle, you're gonna wanna make sure that, of course, your inflammation's low, because that's what you're aiming for in the first place. You're trying to have an anti-inflammatory lifestyle in the first place, because that's the whole goal with ketosis. So you might as well support that however you can. Okay, so I keep these with me, that way I can go to a grocery store and I can get just a quick protein source, or I can go to a restaurant, get a chicken breast, and then get the fats that I want in the mix. So that's a given, okay? Keep those with me. Then, you guys have seen me do videos on these. Now, everything I'm talking about today, you can get at Trader Joe's, but these guys, Chomps. So the reason I use these is because it's very hard to find a protein source that'll actually preserve unless you want to have a can of sardines in your glove box, which I've seen people do and I've done it myself, but it's not always fun. So the cool thing about Chomps, I actually know the owner of Chomps, is that they actually utilize totally grass-fed, grass-finished beef, but there's no nasties in it. There's nothing crazy in it. It's just straight up protein, so you can control it with some sea salt. And I think it's got some celery juice in there to act as sort of the prebiotic that you need in there. You can get them down in my description. I have a link there, but you can also get them at Trader Joe's. But if you use the link in the description, you get a discount. So the nice thing about it, again, another anti-inflammatory food. you know that on a ketogenic lifestyle, I'm all about making sure that the protein levels are a little bit lower than what you would have on a non-keto lifestyle. So it's perfect. You get just enough protein with this. It's perfect for when you're sitting in traffic, perfect for when you're just kind of on a quick run. So I definitely recommend checking them out. Again, Trader Joe's or in the link below. And then the other thing, another thing you can just get at Trader Joe's, coconut oil packets. A lot of people don't realize that these exist, but these are super simple. Right here, I've got 120 calories of pure lauric acid and some long chain fatty acids. So coconut oil is about 52% what is called C12, so carbon chain, 12 carbon chain lauric acid. So it's a form of medium chain triglyceride. All that means is a type of medium chain triglyceride that converts to what is called monolaurin within the body. So the reason that I go for medium chain triglycerides that are in coconut oil is because they have a longer chain. They digest a little bit slower, but still fast enough to get you quick energy, but not so fast that they hurt your stomach. If you've ever had straight MCT oil, you can know it gives you that little crampy feeling in your stomach. That's because it's digesting so fast. It has such a wild way of absorbing. It doesn't really go through the traditional digestive pathway. It goes straight through into a micelle and absorb. If you have lauric acid, like you do with coconut oil in the mix, it makes it a little bit different. But also, what's wrong with just consuming this stuff straight up? If you need fuel, this is perfect. So what I'll do again is I'll have one of those chomp sticks and I'll have some coconut oil, and it's a perfect little macronutrient breakdown, like for what I need on a keto diet. It's not gonna give you every nutrient that you need and give you the wide spectrum of micronutrients, but we're talking about when you're on the road, when you're in the car, when you're cruising, when you're in traffic, things like that. So that alone really can make it or break it for you so that you're not getting to your destination totally starving and settling for the cheesy bacon stuff that you really shouldn't be having on a keto diet. So anyway, I just wanted to share something that was a little bit more lifestyle oriented, what I keep in my bag, what I keep in the glove box. If you like more videos like this and you want to see more of just, I don't know, day in the life stuff and what I do day in, day out, more stuff with the family, make sure you put it down in the comment section below. I promise I'm not going to get rid of all my sciencey content, but I do want to include a little bit more about what I do day to day. So as always, make sure you're keeping it locked in here on my channel, and I will see you in the next video.